The following is a presentation of Studio Audrain, powered by the Mexico Ledger.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Mexico Ledger Saturday morning sports show live from Slumberland here in Mexico. I'm your host, Matt Pilger. It is WWE Royal Rumble weekend. These folks are not entered into the Royal Rumble, but they are in the wrestling program here at the Mexico High School. As a matter of fact, we have the head coach of the Mexico Lady Bulldogs wrestling program, Tony Senor. And good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Matt.
Alexus Johns, Senior. Good morning.
Good morning.
And also Abby Bowen, a senior. And good morning to you.
Good morning.
I know you guys are probably a little jet lagged. You went to a tournament late last night, got back early this morning. We appreciate you guys being here. Coach, let's start off there. Where were you at? And tell us a little bit about how that went.
So we were in J.C. Fowler land in DeSoto, Missouri, the Lady Dragon tournament. 2.5 hour drive there. And we had 6 medalists, and I think it was a fun night. So long night, but fun night.
Alexus, talk a little bit about your performance at the tournament. How did you do? Did you come home with a medal?
Yeah, I came home at first place. I think overall I did pretty well, although I had 2 matches. Kind of made me mad. I got home at 1:30 in the morning, so I'm a little out of it today.
Did we mention at 1:30 in the morning? And then how many hours of sleep did you get before you came out to the show?
Maybe like 3.
3. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Abby, talk a little bit about your performance. I think you brought home 2nd place. Is that right?
Yes.
How'd you do? Just your feelings on the tournament.
I feel like I did pretty good. My first 2 matches were good. My last one, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. Still kind of processing the whole match, I guess.
She wrestled a very high state ranked girl who's probably going to medal at the state tournament this year.
Coach, let's talk about this year's team a little bit. You were mentioning, besides our 2 seniors here, you've got a lot of freshmen on the team. But, 6 years you've been at the helm. The inaugural season was 6 years ago. It doesn't seem that long ago to me.
Right.
But talk a little bit about your team this year, if you will.
We are very unique that the majority of our lineup are freshmen. Now, these girls, they do have a little bit of wrestling experience coming from the middle school, but they're learning that high school wrestling is a lot different than middle school wrestling. And we're seeing a lot of growth. The girls are learning. They're actually learning what it means to wrestle at a higher level. And we're starting to see that growth out of a lot of our younger girls. It is challenging having a very, very young team, but it helps when you have very strong leaders who've been in the program for multiple years, and they know the expectations, and they know what it looks like when you get to state or tougher competition.
Alexus, you recently picked up career win number 150. Kind of talk a little bit about, and you got there pretty quickly, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Kind of talk to us a little bit about that milestone, if you will.
So I was never expecting myself to get 150 wins ever. I've only been wrestling, 4 years, so it's not like I've been doing it for my whole life. I always looked up to girls who've got it, and I'm just like, I'm going to do it. And,
Yeah.
well, I did it, so It's really all about that.
And quite a few of those wins have come via pen. As a matter of fact, I think you just recently picked up your 100th pen, another milestone at the Brick City Classic. To do that at home, talk to us a little bit about what that meant.
Well, when I got it, I didn't even know I had it. I did not know anything about that. So I got it, and the guy, he was like, "You just got your 100th pen." I'm like, "Seriously? You're kidding, right?" Because I didn't know I got it. So I was really stoked about that. And to hit it in the same day is pretty awesome, too.
Absolutely. Abby, I think you are nearing win number 140. Does that sound about right?
You're at 138, not that I know.
Okay, right. Talk a little bit about, your goal. Would you like to reach, maybe, is it possible to get 150 before your senior season is over?
Yeah. I hope to get 150 before the end of season, as long as everything goes well. But if I don't, I'm just glad for the last 4 years of wrestling.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed, I would
Yeah.
take it. Let's talk a little bit about the state tournament, because each of you have been state qualifiers, and kind of what that means, Coach, as we get near, the districts and getting prepared for that. Where would you assess Alexus and Abby at this point in the season?
So right now, Alexis, in her district and in her weight class, she is the 1 seed as I see it. She's beaten all the girls that will be in her bracket, so she's at the top of the mountain there. So we have a pretty good chance of having another district champion with Alexis. And Abby, her bracket is very, very tough. So she's right in the middle there. She can get a 2 or 3 seed. So again, I could see her possibly going to state, and then also I could see her medaling. I could see both girls bringing home medals this year. If the cards are right, if it's in the stars.
Absolutely. Where are districts going to be held at this year? Do we know that?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Steve Haig, he's our district tournament director, and we're going to be hosting girls districts February 13th and 14th.
Okay.
At home in Filbert Gym.
Mexico Mayor Steve Haig, by the way, will be there presiding over. And Alexus, let's talk a little bit about getting prepared for districts. Do things change for you training-wise, or do you just kind of keep steady with what's brought you here so far? Talk a little bit about getting prepared.
So my training on everything changes. So I train harder in the room, I lift more weights, and I just train super, super hard between districts and state, and even now to districts, because districts is super important. I mean, if you want to go further in your career, you got to place at districts to go to state. So that's kind of where I'm at, is just train harder and have a better mentality.
Absolutely. Abby, does your training change? Does diet change? Do you lift more weights? Do you do more running? What kind of talk about your routine a little bit?
Getting closer to districts and state. In practices, we definitely kick it up a notch. We go harder, try to get our stamina built up, our strength built up, our technique built up. And lifting, we will, I think the lifting coach is having us do more, more weight, more volume.
Is that Coach Scott?
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. What does he mean to your wrestling program, Coach?
So I've said this to a lot of our freshman girls who are not in strength and conditioning. I said, you have got to get a hold of Coach Scott, because he is a difference maker with these 2 girls from what I've seen when they were freshmen to now. And he is that difference maker. He's an impact maker, getting them stronger, quicker, more explosive. So without him, I don't think we would have Alexus or Abby where they're at today.
Coach Devin Scott, by the way, a strength and conditioning coach over at the Mexico High School, kind of wrapping things up. What's next this upcoming week before you get set to go to districts at the end of this month?
So we have 2 more competitions. We're going to go with the boys on Tuesday to Eldon for a quick little try. And then next Saturday, we're going to be in Eureka for our last dual tournament of the year.
Very nice. Coach said there's going to be a practice immediately after this. Are you guys ready for that on 2 hours of sleep?
We do have we have a practice.
No, there's not. I just made that up. But all right, guys. I hope you go and get rested, and want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of the season. And we appreciate you guys stopping by.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
From Mexico Lady Bulldogs High School Wrestling, head coach Tony Senor, also Alexus Johns and Abby Bowen, our first guests here as they get set for the fast and furious end to the season. We do want to talk a little bit about our sponsors here this morning. Our studio sponsor, of course, Slumberland Furniture of Mexico. And what a nice backdrop we've got here. Check out Andy and Logan and all of the deals going on out at Slumberland here today. Also, we want to thank the Arthur Center Community Health for being a sponsor, Mexico School District, the Van Far School District, Community R6, and, of course, the Weber family of pharmacies. And now we're going to bring in our next guest here. As a matter of fact, we just mentioned the Van Far School District, and the Van Far Activities Director, Mr. Robbie Bates, is joining us, and thanks for coming out this morning.
Thanks, Matt, for having me.
Hey, we're certainly glad to have you here. Talk a little bit about your role. You grew up in Audrain County, and you've been the AD at Van Far. How many years are you on the job now?
This is my second year as the athletic director and transportation director at Van Far. came back here a couple of years ago. Yes, I grew up in Audrain County, in Ladonia, Mexico, so this was kind of a homecoming.
Absolutely. You guys have had a very successful start to the athletic season over at the Van Far School District. I think we need to start off with football to kind of talk about that run and, the success that the football guys had.
Yeah, the football team this year, we didn't have a lot of kids playing football, but they had a great year. They finished 7-5. They won their first district title in 25 years. They had to go on the road to win it. Had to go down to Hillsboro, and they were. The girls wrestling from Mexico was talking about being in DeSoto, so our guys had to go all the way to Hillsboro to play Grandview. Defeated them on the road to win the district, which gave us the opportunity. We hosted the state quarterfinal, so those kids getting to play in that was a great experience for them.
No doubt about it. Cross country also had a standout season. As a matter of fact, I think you had 3 all-state runners. What does that say about the growth of the program and kind of the athletes that are coming through at Van Far right now?
The cross country team, Coach Cross does a phenomenal job of getting those kids prepared to run, to compete. We had the luck of getting to host the district at Van Far this year, and so when we got the opportunity to do that, she created the new course, and it was fun to host it, to watch our kids run, and then get to go to state. The boys qualified as a team, finished tied for first in the district, so they qualified as a team. We had, I believe, 3 or 4 runners that were all district, and then on our girls' side, we had 2 girls made it to state. We had 3, like you said, 3 runners: Slade Keller, Garrett Hopke, and Chloe Wallace all finished in the all-state. So they finished in the top 25 or 30 in the state, and they're all coming back next year.
Yeah,
so that's on the boys' side. They're losing literally 1 runner from their top 5 or 6.
That's always a key to the program, bringing back experienced athletes. I think I've heard several coaches say the more seniors you've got out there, the better the results seem to be. We're in the middle of the basketball season right now. Kind of talk about, from your perspective, how is winter sports slate going so far, both on the court and everywhere else? Everybody staying healthy.
On the girls' side, the girls are competing hard. They're a kind of like cross country. They're a very junior level team. In terms, they got a lot of juniors. They have 1 senior. They will be playing this afternoon at the Bowling Green tournament at 1:30 for consolation against Ellsbury. There's been a lot of growth in those girls. Continue to get better every day. The boys program got a late start. A lot of those basketball boys were boys that played football. So when you're playing football till almost Thanksgiving, the first few weeks of basketball you're very rusty. So they're getting their legs underneath them. They too will be playing today at noon in the consolation final over at Bowling Green against North Callaway. So it'll be kind of a rematch of earlier in the year. But the boys have an opportunity, if they're playing well, to compete for a district title and make a run back to the state tournament.
Absolutely. Keeping our eyes on that spot for sure. Kind of talk a little bit about scheduling sports this time of year. I know you had the Tony Lenzini last week, and well, Mother Nature, it opened up and covered us up with a lot of snow and some ice. How does all of that work, trying to keep games going during the wintertime? And, I'm sure it has to be a tough decision whenever you have to cancel, postpone, move everything around.
It's when you have the success we did in football, I had to plan for early games to say, I would have to contact other athletic directors and say, hey, if football continues to win, we're going to have to move these games. So we had to move, I think, 1 or 2 boys games to accommodate to make sure we had everybody. With the weather, yeah, we've had to move a couple of games. We've even had to move a game because of illness. And then like you said last week with the we were at the boys and girls were at the Tony Lenzini tournament up in Palmyra, and the boys were scheduled to play on Saturday in the third place game. That game was originally scheduled for early afternoon. Then the decision was made where we're going to move it to start at 11 o'clock. And then with the weather, Mother Nature didn't want to cooperate. So all of a sudden, when you get an email from their athletic director that says, hey, can you play at 9 o'clock? You make those adjustments on the fly. And you communicate with your coaches and get it out there on Facebook and get it out there on the school website. And you make it happen.
Absolutely. I think baseball season is just around the corner. Has any practices started on the inside yet for baseball guys, or are they still a couple of weeks away from that?
They are. I've seen them doing some work. They, under the MSHA bylaws, all, like a spring sport, you get those 7 weeks before your season actually starts to kind of do some practicing and stuff. And when the weather was nice, I actually saw them a couple times outside. And then I know a couple days this past week they were inside doing some throwing, doing some fundamental drills and stuff. So they are getting in full swing, getting things ready.
When we see those baseball guys out there with the bats in their hand, we know warmer weather is on the way, and we're certainly all about that.
We hope. I in my past, I helped with baseball at some places, and had one year where we didn't get on the field till like mid to late April because of the wonderful weather in mid-Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We certainly would love to have you come back on the show, and we appreciate you coming out this morning.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right. I was going to ask you because you coached Brandon Schaefer, the activities director here in Mexico, in basketball, I believe. Yeah. Talk a little bit about Brandon's game back in the day.
Well, Brandon was a good shooter at Community R6. I got the opportunity to coach him as a senior in 2004, 2005 when he graduated, and I was the assistant coach at Community R6. Good ball handler, good shooter, great teammate.
Sounds great. We appreciate you coming out here, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
He is the activities director for the Van Far School District, Mr. Robbie Bates, and we once again want to thank our sponsors, our studio sponsors, Slumberland Furniture of Mexico. Lovely background drop here. Come out and check out all of the great deals here at Slumberland. A lot of sales going on. Logan and Andy will be here today, as a matter of fact, and check them out. Also, other sponsors, Arthur Center Community Health, the Mexico School District, Van Far School District, Community R6 School District, and Weber Family of Pharmacies. As we have our next guest getting ready to come on to the set here this morning, a couple of tall gentlemen coming in here. That must mean we've got some guys from Mexico Bulldogs basketball team, Houston Fowler and Quincy Bruce, and thanks for coming out this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we're glad to have you guys out here. Houston, we're going to kind of talk to you a little bit here to start off with your inside presence and rebounding, major contributions from your game. Kind of what's your mindset in the paint whenever you're battling kind of older, stronger varsity players? First year on varsity, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when we have guys like KB and Charlie that can score, they're definitely going to need some rebounders to help them just push the pace a little bit and put transition offense in. So I think whenever we have like Kinzer, Brady, that sometimes just need a break from rebounding, I think we could have either me or Quincy or somebody who's a little bit taller and could probably be a little bit more lengthy to get the rebounds.
There you go. Quincy, you guys are 14-5, state ranked right now. As a sophomore, you're getting some meaningful varsity minutes. What has this season been like for you?
This has been pretty good for me. I've had a couple ups and downs here and there, but as the season's been progressing and stuff like that, I feel like everyone, like as a team, we've kind of come together a little more, and we're starting to show like what we really can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of talk to us, Houston, a little bit about those second chance opportunities and how you get in there and get those, and because rebounding is a big part of Mexico basketball.
I think whenever a second chance happens, some shots just might not go in, but having second chance rebounds can really help the team out, especially when we're going against big guys from Kirksville or Hannibal that we need the district seeding from. So I think second chance rebounds helps a lot, and I think we all have some guys that can rebound pretty well. I think we have a really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. Quincy, it was a tough loss against a larger school in Hickman this week. Kind of your takeaway from that game and some things that you guys really want to focus on in practice now.
From the Hickman game, we kind of realized that in the fourth quarter, a lot of shots just didn't fall. Like, we went back and looked, and there just wasn't a lot else we could do other than rebound and keep trying to get those different shots to fall. And I think those were probably rebounding and the shots falling were probably our major losses to that game.
Yeah. Coach Pappas has kind of said you guys are both getting better as the season goes on. What areas do you feel your game has grown the most so far this year? Start off with you, Houston.
For me, I think it's definitely the rebounding. I think after Kinzer's gone and Charlie and Caden, we're definitely going to have to step up a bit, especially since our bench players are definitely going to have a big spot and opportunity. So I think my rebound has probably been getting way better. I think just the second chance points as well. So I think we also have some guys that can score. So yeah, rebounding for me is probably what's happening.
Quincy, for you?
I'd say probably my shooting this year has been a lot better than past years. That, and it's kind of been a little different this year with me playing like off the ball a lot more. So just kind of getting open and moving without the ball a lot has been a lot better for me.
Yeah, both of you first year varsity this year. Kind of what was the biggest adjustment from JV to varsity speed? Houston, you can kind of take that one first.
I think probably the speed and the pace of varsity to JV is a lot more different, especially with guys that are seniors and way bigger, stronger, and just pretty faster. I think the pacing of the teams that we play are way different from JV. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I could say about that.
Yeah. What about for you? What's the biggest adjustment from JV up to varsity?
I'd probably say the same things. The pace and going against like older guys who have been doing this for past 3 years, past 4 years, and they're like already kind of acclimated to it. I would say that's probably the biggest change.
Now, both your dads play basketball. They coach basketball. I'm sure they give you some advice. Houston, what's the best advice that Coach Jason has given to you?
Probably what I've been saying is definitely my rebounding. We're definitely going to have a really big role in this next coming seasons, especially since our 3 main guys are going to leave us. We're going to have James and Brady that are still going to be with us, but we're definitely going to have a big role and opportunity. So my dad just says to stay locked in, just stay focused, and keep playing.
Good advice, as usual. And what about Coach Herb? What's he telling you?
He says kind of the same stuff. Just keep playing, keep going. He sees me with my head down sometimes. He says, just don't do that. Just keep playing. It'll all be over with, and you'll show what you can really do.
Always solid advice from the dads, as a matter of fact. Kind of talk a little bit about the goals for the rest of the season. Of course, you're at 14 wins right now. I would say, 20 or more. Maybe that's one of your goals, a conference championship. Talk a little bit about some of your goals.
I think our main goal is definitely to be number 1 in our district and conference. I think we're still holding on to that title, so that's pretty good. I think we also should have the 20 wins. I think we can do that. I think we do have a tough schedule coming up. We have to play against Moberly, and then we have a back-to-back game in Quincy. So we're definitely going to have some competition there, but I think we can keep the district seed as a number 1, and I think we can keep playing as hard as we can. I think we're going to get to 20 wins.
There you go.
I'd say probably agree with what he said, and then our district title, I think we can get that. I think we can get that for us. As the past couple years, we've gotten that, and then see how far we can go with that. And then, yeah, the 20 wins definitely.
Yeah. Quincy, you're going to be playing in Quincy next week. Can we
Yeah.
talk to Coach Haig or Mayor Haig about maybe declaring it National Quincy Day next Saturday?
Yeah, we got to talk to him about it.
All right, I'll text him after the show. We'll see what we can get done. We certainly appreciate you guys coming out. Want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of the
Thank you.
season.
Yeah, thank you.
From Mexico Bulldogs boys basketball, Houston Fowler and Quincy Bruce. And we once again want to thank our sponsors, Slumberland Furniture of Mexico, our studio sponsor, also other sponsors, Arthur Center Community Health, Mexico School District, Van Far School District, Community R6 School District, and the Weber family of pharmacies. Want to thank our producer, Jeremy Jacob. As a matter of fact, you can check out all of his articles in the Mexico Ledger and see how all your area teams are performing. I'm Matt Pilger, and this has been another edition of the Saturday Morning Sports Show live from Slumberland.